Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Orient Express. My name is Lemorack. While that concert is playing on there and they're all occupied, now is the perfect time for me to go snooping around among their stuff.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Several things that I want to do. First of all, I want to get into Miss Wolf's apartment. Compartment. Getting into her compartment is going to be difficult because she locked the door, and there's this guy constantly watching. And if by mistake I happen to try and get inside, here's what happens. Nope, stop. Didn't need to double click there. Click. Ugh.
Mademoiselle Wolf is at the concert, monsieur.
Yep. Nope. What's going on? Ah, this is my distraction. No, it's not.
Pardon me?
Ah. Okay, that's interesting. He stopped and looked at her door, too. Uh-huh. Okay, now as he gets up and walks away, this is going to be my...
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Yeah, go ahead. This is going to be my chance. I can't get in there, but I can get in here. These ladies did not lock their door. So, let's take a quick look around.
Dear friend, last night my seductress allowed me to sit by the side of her bed for a long while and brush her hair. How happy I was. Her embrace pulled me into a dream, far away from my old, upholstered world. At last, un vrai intime, in this fragile, rattling old box racing into the future.
Got away with words. And this also kind of confirms something that I think we were suspecting about those two ladies from, you know, what little time they shared on screen, like right there at the concert, right? Apparently that little argument they had in their cabin earlier must have been something of a lover's spat. Must have left.
Dear friend, at last. Dear friend, at last. Today Sophie and I set forth on our journey. A journey to the east, away from the London and Paris we have seen far too much of, and toward an unknown future. The sense of liberty is intoxicating. Surely even the most jaded appetite cannot resist the thrill of travel. The glamour and bustle of the Gare de l'Est, the furtive glances of the passengers as they assess each other. For 3 days can be a very long time crowded together in these elegant carriages. And then, the irrevocable moment when the train begins to move forward, the rhythm growing, the countryside beginning to flash by, and the past is left behind.
Oh, gotta read the rest myself. No more Reginald with his wet little handshake and mild assurances of our future together in his underheated flat with his mother's furniture. Sophie has loved me in her careless, wonderful way. I have made the break. I do not care. Even my mother agrees that Sophie, daughter of her closest friend, is the perfect traveling companion to help me recover from my broken heart. We have escaped. She apparently left her husband. Of course, I must remember that Sophie has traveled more widely than I. How jealous I was hearing her stories of that rich and gorgeous life she had left before we met. But now, I can lay claim to some adventure. I think that's it. I too can lay claim to some adventure. When the little gray mouse, will be able to tell a tale or two, though of course I shall always remain silent. I shall my experience reflected in the eyes. I shall see my experience reflected in the eyes of my beloved. They have called the second voice. Sophie is hungry. Second service. Sophie is hungry until later. Sophie seemed bored at dinner. I hope this trip was the right decision. I will make it right. She will see. Very tired now. I shall lie in my little cot and watch the ceilings until tomorrow. Last night, yes. So I'm going to seduct my hair, blah, blah, blah. Then she made me sleep up above. There I lay, guarding her slumber like an old faithful dog. She is beautiful in her sleep. We joked about our fellow...
my legs for a bit. Excuse me.
Joked about our fellow travelers. There's a fat German businessman with a little red mouth. He speaks very loudly to the waiter and strokes the lapels of his jacket with plump fingers. In the corridors, I passed a dark, seedy young student type, Russian I think, who is rather self-consciously carrying a copy of Also Speak
Bonjour, madame.
something. I can't read that. There are two other Russians in our car. An old gentleman traveling with a lovely young schoolgirl. Madame, French name, tells me he is a count. Sort of cousin of the Tsar. At least I think so, as her English is hardly better than my French. I forget to mention Madame B. She and her son are in the compartment next to ours. So with her husband across the way. Isn't marriage wonderful? Bontois, perhaps, is an engineer of sorts. Madame B, blah blah. Okay, this is starting to feel a little bit like fluff. Okay, so we get the idea. They've apparently left their old lives behind, and they're trying to run away together. It's a beautiful tale of love, and I hope it works out. But for now, I have more snooping to do. For this, you see, is how we get into Miss Wolf's compartment. She's left her window open. Looks like a picture of her with some young man. You got some music playing, nothing in there. Sheet music. Clothes, nothing in there. A letter. Madame, I write to you with respect to our discussions of Monday last, of which our friend in Vienna has been informed. We have, for some time, been aware of Herr Schmidt's activities as a supplier of arms to the Balkan powers, although his dealings, insofar as they are not inconsistent with our own objectives in the region, have not hitherto aroused our official interest. The present situation is a different matter. Herr Schmidt's client is a Serbian army general with ties to the Black Hand. This subversive organization, whose aim is to detach the Bosnian territory from the monarchy, has committed numerous murders and atrocities, including the assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand, June 28 at Sarajevo. This was the incident that sparked World War I. The possibility that Herr Schmidt is now supplying this group with advanced weaponry is therefore a concern to His Majesty. Herr Schmidt, that by the way is the two-headed eagle, a symbol of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy. Herr Schmidt is to leave Paris July 24th on the Orient Express. We believe he will complete the final arrangements for this affair during the course of the journey. We do not know the identity of his contact, nor the time and place of the meeting. We wish to know the date of delivery and the precise nature and quantity of the materials to be supplied. In particular, if the arms are to be transported through Austrian territory, we would like to know how this was arranged and if Austrian officials are involved. As always, we trust you, Madame, to act with the most absolute discretion in this affair and to honor the confidence which His Majesty's Imperial Government has placed in you. In the assurance of our own warm regard and highest esteem for your abilities, I remain your respectful servant, G. Surprise! Miss Wolf is working for the Austrians. This would be that perfume that everybody keeps sniffing relentlessly. There are her jewels. There's one thing in particular that matters over here. Yes, this key. This is what I needed. Can I close this? I'd like to close it. There we go. Alright, we're
Bonjour, monsieur.
approaching. She got anything up above? No, she does have a little like hat box over here though, which has her hat in it. Can't interact with that. Okay. So I can't leave through here, so I gotta go back out this way. Now there's one more important thing that I need to do. Oh, hey, look at this. Blast. View of the Great English Vortex. The text is way too small for me to read right now, but anyway, I will just...
Bonjour, monsieur.
Fortunately, the guy doesn't really care. Oh, but this is my chance. I gotta hurry and get into this compartment too. Not this one, but this one. There we go. Don't think there's anything for me to see down here. Already looked at that. But right here now.
Is my grandfather?
He has been quiet, mademoiselle.
Uh-oh.
I looked in about an hour ago. He was sleeping.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon, mademoiselle.
Please don't come in. Please don't come in. Sounds like she left. Okay. I'm out.
Ах, так это вы мне приснились. Не берите. Может быть, она у вас запоет.
That was not ominous at the least.
Just a minute. How did you get in there?
Shh. Monsieur Oblinsky is asleep. He mustn't be disturbed.
Yes, monsieur.
Just, you know, give off an air of authority. Make him feel like you belong in there and everything will be fine. That's how this works. Okay, now, for the time being, I'm going to go place this egg in the box where it belongs. This was the dude's treasure, right? The one that he was looking for. But rest assured, it is not safe there. More on that later. Now that I have Anna Wolf's key, I think there is one more thing that I need to do now. Okay, hang on, I gotta think about this.
For a representative in that part of the world, preferably a bright young fellow with fluent English and Russian, such as yourself. Of course, I realize with your family background you probably never considered a career in business. And of course, there's no question of you doing this for money. But after all, you are a member of the new generation. Be ashamed to bury yourself in the countryside, fiddling with agriculture and so on. Why, with your abilities, you could literally help build the modern Russia. Surely you'll agree that Russia must make connection with modern Europe in order to flourish and develop.
Excuse me.
Oh, must you go already? Oh well, do think about it.
Oh, that looks like a bug. Okay. Interesting. So apparently Mr. Abbott is clearly a businessman, right? And it would appear that his goal in this case was to try
Pardon me.
try to see if he can't work towards a capitalist Russia, huh? Apparently the young Bolshevik activist was not pleased with this notion. Ah, there's Max. I can hear him barking. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait for our opportunity to get in there, but there's one thing that needs to be done. I'm wondering if maybe...
It forgot. Of course, that would explain it. Amazing, really, when you stop to think about it.
Excusez-moi,
A
monsieur.
concert crossing Europe at 60 miles an hour. Wonderful thing, modern technology. Still, our lot seems to be to sit here and read the paper.
You are welcome to Le Figaro, monsieur. I have read all the articles of interest.
Oh, thank you.
Again, I feel sorry for the poor French dude being stuck with, above all, an Englishman who can't seem to know when to stop talking. Okay, I'm gonna look around because...
Ah, Monsieur Whitney. They have already started, but please, go ahead. Thanks.
It's funny how I heard my own voice there. Okay, I don't want to go back yet.
Bonjour, monsieur.
I actually can't remember how to continue with this next bit. Because I need to do one more thing, but in order to do that...
Excuse me, Monsieur Whitney.
Excuse me? In order to do that, I have to get on top of the train. And I can't do anything while that guy is sitting there. So I guess I'm just gonna have to wait till we approach another stop. So until that happens, I'll just sit down here, and we will wait. We're approaching Amsterdam, so that's probably my way out. Have anything interesting to read in the meantime? Not really. Got the passenger list. Mohammed Makta. August Schmidt. This is my my passenger car. This is one of the Serbians. You can have their nationalities written down here. It says that Schmidt is traveling to Belgrade. So apparently that was his final destination. Pretty much everybody here is traveling to Constantinople. Anna Wolf is traveling to Budapest. She is Austrian, apparently. Rebecca Norton, England. Sophia's French. It's funny because she claimed she was Bohemian. It looks like they have one passenger who is... Oh, another accident in the kitchen. Alright, well, nothing to do. I guess I'm just going to sit around here and wait for my opportunity. Actually, something occurred to me.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Something I can do to kind of help kill time. I want to see if my hunch is correct about something, and we're going to do this while we're waiting for the conductor to show up. So let's take another look at this egg. And let's take a look at this poem. And I want to take a look at the destinations. Climb on my back and I will take you. In the desert, heart of the vast southern lands. Assume that would be the Sahara. Nothing happened. Vast southern lands. Desert. Australia? Yep. Okay. Then the next one... Apparently I was right then. The poem really is the clue for how to examine the I'd like to look at... Why can't I look at my inventory? Here we go. Okay. Next. A world away lies a colder kingdom. Singed. I think that says singed with blue. That could mean Russia. No. This is Russia. Could it be this one? Yes. Okay. Then... What was this one? Rooftop of the world. That's easy. That's the North Pole. Rooftop of the world. Come on. Or could it be rooftop of the world? What am I missing here? It's not one of those. Alaska? No. Rooftop of the world. I thought it was the North Pole. That's what made sense. Oh, the Himalayas. Yeah, of course. And then... toward home. That's Russia. But Russia's already gone. Is it? No. Okay. I'm guessing that... No, I skipped that one. So, warm seas under the cross. Okay, that's what it was. That's the one it was. And then the last one, City of the Temple built by the son of David. It's the Tower of Babel. Don't know exactly where that is, but it's in the Middle East. So it's this one. There we go. Now I stick my finger in here. And there we have the Firebird. And before I put it away, there's one more thing I want to try. Maybe it will sing for me, remember? That is freaking amazing. It's some kind of modern little toy that sings for you when it hears that whistle. Anyway. Let's put the darling away. I didn't hear the conductor come through. It looks like we've already passed Amsterdam. Thought I would hear him if he came through here.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour. Hoping I didn't miss my chance. So anyway, there really isn't much to do now except wait. I guess, yeah, I'll just sit down here and I'll cut to when something interesting happens. Okay, so I figured out my mistake. I put the egg back in its place for now. Here's what I was missing. Apparently this is one of the reasons he got the key, which we don't exactly understand why she has it. She does. And this is what gets me on top of the train. Now, Kronos' private car is over here. It's got a lovely little glass roof and everything. So let's destroy it. Hope he doesn't hear this. Now we get to look around in Kronos' lovely little private car. Concert is still in full swing, as you can hear. Inquiry regarding Mr. Tyler Whitney, Agent M. Maurice, Assistant blah blah blah. Understanding that Your Excellency is soon to depart from Paris, I have prepared this report in haste, and apologize for any shortcomings which may result from speed with which is, spaces. In accordance with Your Excellency's instructions, I have initiated surveillance of Mr. Cath's domicile as well as of Mr. Whitney. Attached are the promised dossiers on Mr. Whitney and Mr. Cath. Please bear in mind that these were assembled on short notice and thus do not represent a thorough inquiry. As per your instructions, my associates shall continue. What time is it? Alright, we should have some time left. I shall then prepare final report, blah blah blah. Please accept, monsieur, blah blah blah. Excellent. Mr. Tyler Whitney, this report covers the movements of Mr. Tyler Whitney from 8 p.m. Wednesday, July 22nd, Thursday, July 23rd. Wednesday, the subject is staying at a place, pension owned by blah blah blah. Carriage, subject proceeded to the Isle of St. Louis. A few minutes later, the subject left. My associate to follow Mr. Whitney. Enter the house. Carriage volunteered that she had never seen Mr. Whitney before. It's concierge, by the way. Short walk around the block, sufficient to confirm that the house was indeed under police surveillance. Mr. Cath's residence, the subject proceeded to the Café Saint-Régis, where he sat for some hours on a corner table reading some political tracts on Mr. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is long. It appears that Robert Cath is the man who since Monday left is being sought by both the English and French police. Okay, so this is how the guy knows all that stuff about me, right? He's basically got spies checking me out. Yeah, he's got a bunch of movements. Left for the hotel soon after. Monsieur, this is a letter from somebody. To my connections, it has come to my attention that an unusual piece described as a Chinese egg circa 1650 has, in the past few days, been shown to certain art dealers in Paris. Knowing your Grace's interest in eggs of this period, I thought you might wish me to pursue the matter. The seller, Mr. Tyler Whitney, is an American gentleman who appears to be acting as agent for the true owner. I shall be traveling to Paris on tonight's steamer, on business. If your Grace wishes, I should be delighted to meet Mr. Whitney to make inquiries regarding the egg. Awaiting your instructions, I remain your most respectfully yours, blah, blah, blah. Monsieur, I trust your Grace's journey from Vienna was pleasant. In accordance with your telegraphed instructions, I met again with Mr. Whitney. Unfortunately, our hopes of a quick conclusion to this affair were not fulfilled. I communicated to Mr. Whitney the extremely generous offer which your Grace has authorized me to make on your behalf. I informed him, without identifying your Grace by name, that the buyer would arrive in Paris that evening and was prepared to deliver the entire sum in gold bullion, upon receipt of the piece. I believed then, and still believe, to your offer to be sufficiently in excess of the highest competing bid. In view of Mr. Whitney's response was surprisingly guarded. For example, when I asked to see the piece again, with the aim of answering questions raised in your Grace's letters, he stated that for reasons of security he has removed it from the hotel. Nevertheless, I felt sure that the piece was at the moment in the room with us. When I suggested we meet that night, Mr. Whitney rejected it immediately. He claimed there was not enough time for him to retrieve the egg from its place of safekeeping. Again, I felt that he was lying to gain time, but cannot guess why. It is possible that he is simultaneously conducting negotiations with another party. But if this is the case, why did he not simply tell me it's so? Oh dear.
Sorry, wrong door.
It's alright, this is why God invented the ability to rewind time. Luckily, she didn't just, report me or kill me. Let me quickly read the rest of the parts that we haven't seen yet. Indeed, Mr. Whitney's entire demeanor seems to have undergone transformation from the previous day, whereas the first time we met, he has taken the piece of his case and shown it to me with a casual air. Today he seemed nervous, smoking one cigar after another, though he was perhaps afraid of being robbed. But this hardly explains the inconsistency of his behavior. Knowing your Grace's desire for a quick resolution, I pressed Mr. Whitney for time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's just a lot of this. He was extremely paranoid, didn't want to sell it. I hope I have not tried your Grace's patience by dwelling on the doubts and uncertainties raised in my mind by Mr. Whitney's strange reluctance. As a buyer and seller of art and antiques, it is my business to notice such nuances, however insignificant, since they can affect successful negotiations. If there is any further service I can render in your connection with the matter, I remain at your disposal. Yours, yes, this guy again. So that's it. He's been watching us. He's had agents watching us. Now all that we need to do is we need to find that gold that he was going to use to pay. It's in here somewhere. Just figure out. I got to do it before Kahina comes back in again. Oh, there's a button. There we are. Okay, now the problem with this, right? There's the gold. I have it in my bag, but the problem is that I can't, with the gold in my hands, I can't jump out, right? So if I want the gold, then the only thing for me to do is I gotta pick it back up. Okay. So only thing left to do is walk right out this way. How did he get in there? Yeah.
Bonjour, monsieur.
So, now, until further notice, I'm going to need to stash this suitcase somewhere safe. Yeah, that'll do. Now, the other important thing to remember is that the egg is still in here. And just because I don't like leaving it out there in the open, I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put it in the bathroom. You know, just like Tatiana did, but I'll put it in mine. There we go. Now, we have to wait for the concert to end. Gotta say, that guy must be a really, really good piano player, because you notice how he like looked away from the keys for like a full 10 seconds before then returning back to the piano when he didn't even miss a note. That's pretty impressive. Okay. So I intend to show you another, I'm not obviously going to show you all 47 different endings of the game, but I will show you a couple of them. A couple of the endings that I know are easy to get. And this one in particular is going to be one that's easy to show, but in order to do it, I first have to wait for the concert to end, because there's an important bit that we have to do first, right? So, obviously, we need to show Herr Schmidt this gold to make him, think that the deal is still on. Unfortunately, Kronos did in fact see us leave with his gold, so it's unlikely that we're going to be able to keep it. He's going to come looking for it sooner or later. Excuse me. But until then, at least we have some leverage to keep Herr Schmidt on board the train until Belgrade to find out a different approach. All right. So once again, expect a cut here until the concert ends, and we can talk to Schmidt.
Bonjour, madame. Excusez-moi.
Ah, here we go. The guests are leaving.
Pardon me?
Yes, okay. I certainly hope you two have resolved everything. I mean, it looked there at the concert like they,
Pardon me?
whatever argument they had with each other. This is what happens when you leave behind your life of comfort to run away with somebody on a whim, right?
Bonjour, monsieur.
Miss Wolf?
Miss Wolf. Herr Schmidt?
Not here. Come to my compartment.
Your compartment's over here.
Tatiana?
These little animations, I just really like them. Animations of them walking. I think there's one more thing for us to see over here.
Excuse me?
Excusez-moi, madame.
It gets a
Excusez-moi, madame.
little funky when there's like
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
multiple ones on top of each other.
Excuse me, Monsieur Whitney.
Sure, no problem.
Excusez-moi, madame.
Would you open my compartment, please?
Okay, Schmidt's not back yet. So there's a couple of things that happen at this point.
Excusez-moi, madame. Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Reactions to the things that we've been doing.
Pardonnez-moi, madame. Let me unlock that for you.
Thank you, Jacques. I'm sorry to be a nuisance. I hate locked doors.
Je vous assure, madame, c'est rien du tout. C'est un plaisir de vous ouvrir la porte.
It's a pleasure to open a door for you.
Entschuldigung.
What are you doing, Schmidt?
Fräulein Wolf.
Oh.
Wundervoll. Wunderbar.
Oh, thank you.
Will you join me in a glass of champagne?
You're kind, but I'm a little tired just now. Thank you.
Then how about dinner?
Rejected.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Aren't you married? I seem to remember you being married. Okay, now, right around this point, something should happen. Maybe not just yet. See if Schmidt's ready to talk in the meantime.
Pardon me.
Uh-oh. Damn it. Well, that sucks. This means I'm gonna have to rewind, unfortunately. But that's okay, it means you guys get to see another ending to the game. So, let me just get this bit over with. Kahina, unfortunately, came and took the egg with her. Actually, I think I might be able to solve this problem very easily.
I hate locked doors.
Je vous assure, madame.
Entschuldigung.
All I need is for it to not be here when she comes looking for it, right? So I'll just...
Bonjour, monsieur.
Tired just now.
Then how about dinner?
Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur.
Right away, monsieur. There you are, monsieur. Is everything all right?
Everything is fine. Thank you.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, madame. Excusez-moi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, madame.
Uh-oh.
I guess this means His Excellency would like to see me. You know, he really has a way of making people feel wanted. Is this how he persuaded Miss Wolf to join him in a duet?
You talk a great deal for a man who knows so little.
Tell him I'll be there.
Lucky she didn't see the egg I was carrying. Could have
Bonjour,
gone...
monsieur.
Could have gone very bad. So now I will place this back here. Again, apparently by this point I was already supposed to hide the egg in the kennel, but not sure when I would have done that. Oh, I can do it right now, actually.
Messieurs et mesdames les voyageurs, le train arrivera à Vienne dans...
No, hang on. Music's all tensioned up.
Bonjour, monsieur.
So let's get all this stuff taken care of quickly. No, I didn't mean to sit down. I didn't mean to sit down. No. Tense music. Oh, for crying out loud. Forward. There we go. Hey, Max. Go, be free. And let me just quickly leave this here. Okay, let's quickly take care of the rest. I feel like I shouldn't be rushing this as much as I am, but a lot of stuff I left undone until now. Oh, poor doggy.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour. Now I just gotta go talk to Herr Schmidt. Alright. Resume number 3.
Mr. Whitney, I was wondering if you would come. Ah, yes, yes.
Not so fast, Herr Schmidt. We're not in Belgrade yet.
Apparently I took too long. Well, I guess that's a good place to stop for now. I'm going to redo these events and see if I can't get it done properly next time. Until then, see you guys.